Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Quilt Math. Yay, Quilt Math! And today we're going to explain the split quarter square triangle. That's right, the split quarter square triangle. And it's also called a 3-patch square triangle. And I'm going to draw it for you in a minute, but first, let's do our shout out. Our shout out today is Sue from Small Things. And I watched your channel and I thought, oh yes, this is such a great channel. So I got to go check her out. Give her some words of encouragement. Tell her that Brenda from Mount Scrapmore sent you. And if you like what you see there, hit her subscribe button. Her YouTube link is going to be in our show notes or description box below, so make sure that you check her out. Also, if you're while you're subscribing, if you're one of these people who is watching us, over half our analytics say over half of you that are watching right now aren't subscribed. We would love it if you were a subscriber. Yes, we know that is kind of like, I don't like to subscribe sometimes. Yeah, I get it. But if you make comments, that also helps us out. And if all you have to do is leave us a heart because life is busy, we understand, we get that. We would love to see your heart. Also, we have, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups, and we talk about elements of design, making scrap quilts, and making charity quilts. So if your guild or group is looking for any of those topics, I'd be more than happy to accommodate them and, do a speaking engagement for them over Zoom. I don't do any traveling anymore, so it's easier for me that way. We also have a Facebook group that's warm and welcoming. There's so many numerous community chats. They're just all so much fun to engage in and have all these people, the members are engaging in those community chats. There's a bunch of different ones. So we also do fabric exchanges by country because we're trying to keep the cost of postage down and, that kind of thing. We also have a virtual sewing room for the Facebook group members. If you're part of the Facebook community, come join the Facebook group. And then we give you an invite to the Discord room. And that, the virtual sewing room is in our Discord room. And the members are having such a great time in there, sewing and laughing and having a great time. It's just wonderful. Also, you're going to find Zoom sew dates from now until May, but we're filming this in February. So by the time we talk to the kids and the grandkids about camping this summer, then once we figure those out, then we'll give you the dates from now until December. Usually it's the first Saturday of the month. It's just that for like June, July, August, it's like, we're not sure what day it's going to be. So yeah, so those are lots of fun too. Now once we get through a couple more of these quilt maths, we're going to start our sew along. We ran a poll in our Facebook group, and Spring Fling with Strings is way ahead. And that's what we'll be presenting next. And that's going to be like a mystery sew along. And that's going to be so much fun. And I guess people have lots and lots of strings. So also after Spring Fling with Strings, we're going to do Quilt Bingo. And that's a skill builder. And there's going to be blocks in there for beginners to try. And, then there's going to be harder ones as well. So it'll be a good skill builder for everybody. And I do hope that we'll pick blocks that are a little bit easier and a little bit harder. But everybody has the same bingo card, right? So you can kind of see what you're going to be doing, right, in this in the quilt bingo. So let's talk about split quarter square triangles or 3-patch square triangles. Now, like I say, it's known by both names, right? And it's kind of, a lot of quilt blocks or subunits are known by more than one name, right? So you got to keep that in mind too. So what a split quarter looks like is, excuse the rough drawing, it's like this, and then like this. Okay, so that's, this is the one we're taking on today to explain the quilt math with. Now this looks like a half square triangle married a quarter square triangle, and this is the baby, right? Because this is the half square triangle and this is the quarter square triangle. It does. It looks exactly like they had a baby. But I mean, it's one of those funny little squares that is like once you see one or two of these in in a quilt block, you're seeing a lot of them, right? And it's very popular for, you know, for different quilt designers. This block is very popular to make, right? So you need to know how to make them. So there's 2 steps to this block. The first step is to make your half square triangles. The second step is to make your the half square triangles going this way and this way, right? So there's 2 half square triangles basically that you're making. Now, the quilt math for the first one is your finished size plus 1 1/4. So if it's 4 inches, right, it'll be 5 1/4 inches, right, that you are going to make. And it's going to give you 2 half square triangles, right? Or, yeah, half square triangles. The second step is your finished size plus 8 1/2, right? And you could trim this one up to 5. Yeah, you know, or, you know, the next full number, half number. But yeah, it does make half of the half square triangle. It makes this unit, right? So, and you're making 4 split quarter square triangles at a time, right? So I had to, like, wow. I had to sit, before I actually got to this, I had to sit down and go, okay, what number, like, what are we doing? Because, I mean, I played around with this and played around with this. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a simple way of doing this, right? So I did put a chart here with you for the common sizes. And you're making 2 steps, right? So the first step, if you're making a 4 inch, it says 5 1/4. And the second step is 4 7/8, right? So you do step 1, you make it bigger, right? To make the bigger half square triangle. And then you make the smaller half square triangle, right? Because this is the one, this part you make first, and then you make this part, right? And that's what confuses people. Now, when you're trimming, I did not put on this chart your finished size and your unfinished size, or trim to size. On subunits, all subunits that we're talking about in quilting, people either, they talk about them in finished sizes, and that's the finished size they are in within the quilt. Or they talk about unfinished sizes. This is what you trim it down to when you're all done before you sew it together. And in that size includes the seam allowance. So a 4 inch finished block is equal to a 4 1/2 inch unfinished block, right? So that's what's going to confuse some people. But, you know, just keep your chart handy. Like I say, this chart is PDF chart. It's going to be in the show notes below so that you can use it as a reference. I mean, we tried, like I say, I listed out some common ones, but I mean, this is something that you're making 2 steps. This is a 2-step process for this. And like I say, they make lovely blocks. The one block is there, it's a mirror image, right? So the first block is one's way, and the second block that you're making, once you get to this stage, is a mirror image. So that's also confuses people. So be very careful when you're doing this one as to which way you have to be tipped or slanted or whatever. I did use this block in Chaos Sew Along, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of questions on this one, but it's a fun block to make, right? It's a great way of using up your scraps. Now, there's 2 rulers with this. You can play around with let me just get this, the easy angle ruler. If your scraps aren't big enough to make the cut sizes squares, right? This one talks, this easy angle ruler talks in unfinished sizes. Unfinished sizes. And it's a really fast way to do your stuff. So you're cutting stuff into strips, right? And you can cut half square triangles if you had to go that way. This one from OmniGrid is basically the straight of grain is going the long way here. And this one, you know, will take on, you know, your quarter squares or whatever. It's not good for this one, but it is good for these 2, right? So if you had, you know, if you have to and you don't, your scraps aren't big enough to make it, this is another good tool to have handy, because it's like the same way as making a quarter square triangle, right? So anyways, I do hope you give this one a try. It is these are a lot of fun to make, actually. And they are mirrored images, and you make 4 at a time, but they're fun. So I hope you have an absolutely amazing week ahead, and your 1/4 inch is perfect. And life is treating you very grandly. So you take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your lives, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.